Hey everybody, Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com. I want to tell you about the Kickstarter that we have just launched for the Ruins of Perdition Modular Sci-Fi Terrain. Now please don't leave, this is a sales video, I am going to just say that, but I do want to tell you about how this can really change the experience that you have playing Warhammer at home. Because for most of you, having terrain at home is usually hard or impossible because it takes up so much space or is super expensive to get. And so you have to rely on cardboard boxes or books, or going to your local gaming store or club in order to get a good experience on the table. Well, with the Ruins of Perdition, we are aiming to solve that. Because yes, it is sci-fi gothic terrain, and it looks great, but you know, a lot of terrain out there already does look great. What we wanted to do is not just give you really good looking terrain that is modular in such a way that you could build it into L-shaped ruins, or U-shaped ruins, or full buildings, or scatter terrain, or statues, or bridges, so that it works really well with Warhammer, Kill Team, Necromunda, Trench Crusade even, as it has a good natural and neutral look to it. But you'll be able to also store it in a small space. A full table of this terrain that is designed for a 2,000 point game of Warhammer 40k, competitive especially, will collapse down to a 12 liter or roughly 3 US gallon size container that can then go easily onto a shelf, taking up less space than the miniatures that you use to play the game. This packs down 5 times smaller than the normal terrain that we have. And we understand how terrain takes up a lot of space because we have so much of it, and it's always an issue, even here at the MiniWarGaming bunker, where we have thousands of square feet of space to store it, to figure out how much we're gonna keep and how we can keep adding on to our collection while running out of storage space all of the time. Now, this is both for people with 3D printers and without. If you have a 3D printer, piece of cake, we offer the STLs. You can buy the whole bundle, and you can get a merchant license if you want to print and sell it as well. And then you can print and do whatever you want. There's exterior walls, interior walls, columns, floors, that allow you to make solid buildings or all the different ruins you want. And then of course, all the scatter terrain, craters, statues, bridges, and so on and so forth. A real complete set to allow you to play all of these super fun games. But if you don't have a 3D printer like the majority of you out there, we are offering to print it for you. And this time, we have several advantages to get it to you at a really good price. First off, our main pledge of a full table of terrain is only $250 US. I did the math, and usually you'll pay at least twice that to get terrain from other places such as Games Workshop, depending on what you buy, of course, and what you're willing to sacrifice for how cool your table looks. But then you would have terrain that takes up 5 times more space. So not only are we giving you a good price, but because we can flat pack it, and because it takes up 5 times less space than terrain that we typically ship out, we are able to offer really good shipping prices, even overseas to the UK and to Europe. You'll have an option, of course, to pay more to get it even faster, but we're able to ship it by boat and get it to you within a few weeks after we finish producing it, and you can get it for almost the same price as what it costs to ship it here within North America, which is fantastic. I just love the fact that we are able to actually serve the UK and the European market. Unlike when we did the Ruins of Drakenfell, the majority of our customers were Canada and the United States because shipping costs were just too high. So I'm very happy about that. Now, a quick word on tariffs. Nobody likes the big T word, but since we're making this in Canada, when it goes to the US, there will not be tariffs on this, at least according to the current trade agreement, because this falls under the US, Mexico, Canada trade agreement. And most of the orders will fall under the dollar amount anyways. So shouldn't have to worry about that. Can't guarantee anything, of course, because that's always changing, and the people at customs can always change their mind as to what they will charge tariffs on. So for the most part though, you'll just pay the money and the shipping cost, and then we send it to you, and there shouldn't be any extra cost. On top of it, because it's all magnetizable, you're able to build it however you want. And we will sell magnets as an add-on as well, so you can choose to get those, or you can buy it from your own place. They're 3/16 by 1/16 of an inch, or 4.8 millimeter by 1.8 millimeter, or whatever it is. It's on the page. It'll give you the specific details. So go check that out right there. And it magnetizes super easy. All you have to do is make sure you magnetize the columns in one direction, let's say north, and then all of the walls in the other direction, let's say south. And then you can interchange them however you want. There's even interior walls, so you can build out these massive structures. And then to make your board even super awesome, we have add-ons for the statues and the bridges and the scatter terrain and the craters and so on and so forth. The full table bundle is probably the most affordable, but if you want an even better deal, we are offering the mega bundle and the Perdition bundle. So the mega table takes the full table and adds on scatter and some statues, and then the Perdition bundle for the crazies out there that just want everything and to be able to have a ton of options and yet still take up a lot less space than you normally would think. That has the full table of terrain plus one of every add-on. And of course, you can add on more stuff to really ramp it up. And the wonderful thing is, because we're producing it all in-house at MiniWarGaming, and we already have a print farm established, we can start producing this the moment this Kickstarter starts. Like today, as soon as we start seeing orders come in, I'm going to instruct Caleb to start printing, even though we don't have the funds yet. And we won't ship them out until we receive the funds and the shipping amounts from the pledge manager, but we'll have all the orders ready to go. And if there's so many orders that we can't get it done within a couple of months, then we still can start shipping out orders right when we receive the funds, which is awesome. And that means if you back on the first day or the first couple days, then you're likely to get your order shipped out as soon as we get the money within like a month and a half to 2 months from now, whenever that happens to be, which is great. Because even if it'll take us 4 or 5 months to fulfill this entire Kickstarter, it's not that everybody waits 4 or 5 months. It's that the people who pledge at the very end will wait 4 or 5 months, and people who pledge at the beginning will get theirs much, much sooner. So it's just super exciting because of all that you're able to do with this terrain. Now, it also paints up super easily. Now, I love that terrain itself already paints easily, but this stuff is especially fast to paint. You go through just 4 steps. You can base coat it. You can do like a zenithal. With both of these, by the way, you can just do with spray cans. You don't need to have an airbrush or anything. And once you've done the zenithal highlighting, which is just spraying lighter colors from a higher angle, then you can just apply a wash, whichever colors you happen to want to do. We did ours in like a gray with a dirty brown, because that seems to be a nice neutral theme that works in a lot of our battle reports. And then you finish it off with a lighter dry brush, and you're done. Even the bigger statues look good with this very basic painting method. It paints up in a matter of a few hours, depending on how much you have, of course. And magnetizing doesn't take much longer than that either. So between it looking awesome, being modular, being magnetizable, being super easy to store and super easy to ship and super easy to print, really, we hope that you'll consider supporting this so that you can use it in your games of Warhammer, Trench Crusade, Necromunda, Kill Team, or whatever else suits your fancy. Please consider checking out the Kickstarter at the link below or by going to miniwargaming.com/perdition and backing it today. And remember, the sooner you order, the sooner you get your pledge, because we will fulfill them generally in the order that they are received. Thank you so much for all your support. Happy wargaming.